Pests and diseases in plants and animals are a major challenge for South Australia's agriculture and fisheries sectors, as they can spread quickly and cause significant damage. This impacts on people and their businesses. It is critical that exploration and mining companies take all necessary precautions to prevent the introduction or spread of biosecurity hazards where they operate and when moving interstate. Invasive species can cause major damage to crops, pastures and livestock, as well as native animals, birds and plants. They contaminate crops and seeds and spread disease. This can mean less produce and long-term damage to the state's natural environment, ecosystems and native biodiversity. The Department of Primary Industries and Regions, PIRSA, manages South Australia's biosecurity risks. Their biosecurity policy requires that all landowners and people authorised to access land must at all times avoid exposing that land to pests, pathogens and weeds, and do their best to minimise the risk of exposure. Before any operations happen, companies that hold a mining or exploration licence, known as a tenement, must also have an approved program for environment protection and rehabilitation, known as the PEPR. PEPRs describe the planned operations in detail and identify potential environmental risks. This includes biosecurity management. They also show how the operator will reduce and avoid these negative impacts. Exploration and mining companies are required to consider biosecurity requirements as part of their overall program management and engage openly and collaboratively with landowners before entering land. Landowners often have a good understanding of possible risks in their environment and may have biosecurity management plans already in place. These should be incorporated into the PEPR and maintained at all times. It is expected that companies also contact the relevant landscape board to find out about biosecurity risks in the region. Once operations go ahead, tenement holders must fulfil the commitments they make in the PEPR and comply with all legislation and the terms and conditions of their licence. They must also follow PIRSA guidelines as part of their business approach. Biosecurity risk can be reduced by inspecting and cleaning all equipment, vehicles and shoes before entering the land, minimising movement around the property, parking in assigned areas and sticking to regular pathways. Explorers and miners must notify the relevant department and landowner if they discover pests, pathogens or weeds, and introduce controls to eliminate or minimise the risk of spreading them. Working with PIRSA, the Department for Energy and Mining will monitor and assess whether tenement holders comply with approved work programs, licence conditions, and biosecurity management practices. If they are not doing so, the department will take action in line with its compliance and enforcement policies. Further information on biosecurity can be found on the department and PIRSA websites.